Digby had been to the works to be mended. His recklessness had seriously put the children in danger as he tries to cross the bumpy track cautiously before it did indeed collapse on him. Now Miss Edwards had put him through Rude's work as a punishment until he could be trusted again. The next day, as Digby was busy shunting freight cars in the yard, Miss Edwards came to see him. "You must go to the harbor to pick up a special train, Digby. They are needed for people to unload furniture for their homes in their towns." "Yes, Miss Edwards." And with that, Miss Edwards left. Digby was trying to be excited about his special train, but he was still feeling bad about what happened to the children during his accident on the bumpy track. "Wow, Digby, you really have to put this upon yourself over the unsafe track, didn't you? Seems to me that you're not real useful at all after that happened. None of the children will be able to ride on a silly engine like you." "Give him a break, Sandy. He may have done something reckless, but let's not forget the time that you've taken a round track down to the branch line by trying to show Heather how fast you can go." "Hey, that was different. At least this time I didn't try to let my freight cars rolling down the hill by themselves." "That's enough, you two. And Sandy, that accident last time wasn't Digby's fault. The freight cars had been troublesome on the hill, and they were trying to run away from him at the bottom, but they all got into a big collision with the brake van that its wheels were getting too old for it to stop them in time. You knew that happened before." "Well, yes, that's true. But still, I'm not doing something reckless like that Digby did. I'm off to collect my coaches for my passenger train. I want to show Miss Edwards that I'm a real useful engine." Digby came into the Tanfield Harbor where his special train was waiting. Kyle had shunted them into place. "Be careful with those freight cars, Digby. They are being extra troublesome today." "I'll make sure of it this time, Kyle. Thank you for the advice." "You're welcome. And don't worry about Sandy. She's just being her usual self. I say that she just wanted to be as real useful as you are." That's what she said to Taffy and Heather earlier. Maybe she does have a point. I've done a reckless thing indeed to nearly put the children in danger along the bumpy track on my branch line. If I hadn't done that, I would have gone back to the express line to find a different way to take the children to school in time. "I understand. We all make mistakes, though. Don't let Sandy get to you. She's saying some things that she doesn't think twice before speech sometimes." "I know, Kyle. Now I must go. I can't be late with my special train." Meanwhile, Sandy was puffing along the main line. She was very cross. Instead of her nice shiny coaches, she was pulling a dirty goods train, and she was taking them to Valleyside Station. "This is ridiculous! I've just been repainted, and I should be pulling coaches, not freight cars like Digby had to pull." "Well, Miss Edwards did say that you have to pull them, and you will do as you are told, so there's no point of complaining about it." Sandy said nothing. She just sulked. But what Sandy didn't realize is that she had been so cross, she accidentally caused her train to have a very bumpy ride because of how fast she was going. The coupling was broken, and some cars were left behind, kept rolling along until they went down to the opposite way. But Sandy didn't notice. Digby had arrived at Masterson Station to deliver his freight cars, and he was having a nice drink at the water tower. Suddenly, he noticed something strange up ahead. "Hey driver, what's that over there?" "That looks like the freight cars, Digby. But how did they come along rolling by themselves?" "Oh no! The freight cars are the runaway! We must stop them, driver!" "But Digby, you don't want to hurt yourself again." "I had no choice. If I won't be able to stop them in time, they'll run into the station and the people in the town of Masterson." And Digby was right. The freight cars came rattling and clattering along the track. Digby's driver quickly climbed into the cab. Digby's driver quickly climbed into the cab, and Digby began to prepare for stopping the runaway freight cars. Everyone watched in horror as they ran into him. Luckily, no one was hurt. Digby's driver and fireman had jumped clear, and everyone from the Masterson town cheered for his bravery. But Digby was worried. He wondered what Miss Edwards would have to say about his accident again. Later, Sandy came back just in time to see the workmen coming to clear the mess. "Bust my buffers! I'm so sorry, Digby. I didn't know how this happened when I was taking my cars to Valleyside Station." "It's alright, Sandy. No harm done." "That's right. You should be more careful with freight cars when pulling them in future, Sandy." "Now, while I don't approve of your recklessness, Digby, this time you really saved people from having a severe injury. You are definitely a really useful engine." "Oh, thank you, Miss Edwards. I'm glad I can help." "Wow, Digby, you're a real hero." "Once you are to be checked over for any damage, Digby, I've decided from then on that you can go back and carry on with your usual duties on your branch line. The track was finally repaired, and you'll be able to take your children to school anytime." Digby was very happy. Soon afterwards, he was puffing happily back to work, running along his branch line with passengers and goods trains. And even though he had been a very useful engine, Digby had learned a valuable lesson about risking himself in danger.